Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Deck, the series where we take a look at some of the leading TCG deck lists. And today we have on Tansu, who has managed to get second place at a massive UK regional, playing none other than Sky Striker. Now this is pre-ban list, however he does have plenty of thoughts on how the list will change, as well as some interesting tech choices. So without further ado, let's bring him on to discuss the deck and the event. Coming in with your second place top, right?
Yeah.
At a massive event. So, how was this for you?
Well, it was decent, really. I loved it. I played against good players, nice people to play against, and that. And to be honest, I had a brilliant day, so I can't really complain.
That's what you want, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The perfect feeling. And you decided to take Sky Striker for this event. What was the motivation behind that?
One last run before the ban list, really. Because, I used to play it ages ago, like 2 ban lists ago, and then I think actually when I met you and played against you, I sold it because of ban list scares, and then 2 ban lists later I decided to pick it up again because I got the core for cheap. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's always good when you've had the time to sort of develop some serious skill with the deck. Then maybe you've had to put it down because, banner scares and problems, maybe the deck's not the best at the time, and then you can find another way to get it again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've not been playing for too long, but my best sort of time was when I was playing. There have been the times when I've been playing Sky Strikers. That's when I've done the best.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's evident from your top then.
Yeah, I mean, my first top, so I'm quite happy with that, actually. Yeah, and I only went to try and get an invite, even through like a hand down, and it ended up being a much better day than I expected.
Cool. Well, let's get a more in-depth look into the list then. So I'm not going to comment too much on the sort of stuff that we see as standard, I guess.
Yeah, it's
why did you... Well, I mean, Sky Striker is kind of limited in what you want to choose, right?
Exactly, like you can't really deviate too much from it. It's just Sky Strikers, yeah.
Yeah. So, why did you decide to go for the 8 hand traps in the main that you did?
3 Ashes standard, 3 Veiler. I think it's been played so much more in this format, and it's just good because of monster effects, and Ogre because of just certain things it hits. I mean, I had a match up against Draco. It was good against that. Obviously, I didn't go up against any salads, unfortunately. But on the debug and that, there's rare occasions, obviously, in the mirror and multi-roll, etc. But it's just, I felt like I didn't need 3 Ogre, but when I did see it, it was good. So I was quite happy with the ratio, really. And
you decided to put the impermanence in the side.
Yeah.
So you prefer the Veiler over the impermanence?
Yeah, because impermanence is basically with impermanence after turn 1, it's no longer a hand trap because you've committed cards to the board. So you have to you're then competing with what you're going to put in your back row, and obviously you're playing a back row every deck anyway. So when you have to decide between, do I want the Eagle Boosters or Shark Cannon, or do I want to set an imperm? Sometimes the safer option might be like the Eagle Booster or something like that, and so you've got to then hold on to it.
That's understandable.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I think also as you say, the competing for space thing, because like when you're trying to resolve multi-roll for like 5 and then all of a sudden one of those is used up. Exactly.
It's pretty much one of your spaces is pretty much, ideally always going to be taken up by multi-roll, so you've actually got 4 spaces. So
well, you can always get the field spell, right? Pretty much always.
I mean in terms of obviously your actual back row, because in perm obviously it doesn't compete with the field spell. So but that's my reasoning behind that, really.
Okay, yeah, sure. So onto the spells. Obviously, it's most of the deck. Why did you decide to play the MST in the main?
So obviously when I played it before, the format was different. We didn't have like Cana and all that stuff. And then when I picked up the deck again, I was looking online, pretty much net decking, and I came across Paolo Kong. Is it I'm probably going to butcher his surname, so I'm not going to say it. So Paolo, who's obviously topped multiple YCSs. I think he won 2 and 1. Is it a UDS or something with his list? And
yeah, he's on a roll.
So and basically I watched his video and he explained the deck so well and his reasoning behind MSTs. And then I just thought he wasn't playing the jamming waves, and I thought, do you know what? He was playing 40, so I thought I'm going to stick the jamming waves in and change, like, I think I changed like one other thing or something like that. And yeah, pretty much I liked the MSTs because sometimes it was a nice thing, you know, having the blind MST to get rid of some back throw or a field spell or something like that.
Yeah, it's great to have the sort of optionality in a deck like this.
It's also, yeah, I mean, it's also sometimes the third spell in grave, and
yeah, that's true.
It just helps. Every spell helps, doesn't it? So yeah,
that's fair enough. And then obviously, like, I think the rest of it is like the kind of stuff you can't really argue. I guess double eagle booster. Is this necessary to have it too? Do you think?
It's not necessary. It's just I mean that's something that's different from Paolo's list. Obviously, he's only playing. I believe he was only playing 1 anyway. So it was something I preferred because at the time I changed it to 2 shark cannon, and then I sort of that phase went out when everyone stopped. People stopped running Siphon Sanctum as much. And then, I just like the extra Eagle booster for protection because sometimes you just need that turn where I'm gonna sit on my Shizuku or whatever, and then I'm gonna have my next turn to play. So
definitely.
So yeah, it's just more of a preference thing, and it worked out because sometimes when you're doing bad resource management, you lose like an Eagle booster off of a roll or something like that. So
yeah, you just need the other one.
It's just nice having that second one if you need it.
I think you make a great point though, because this is the deck that can't really OTK unless your opponent leaves a lot of big monsters on board and you take them. So you do need those extra turns to just like multi-roll up your extra resources and stay alive.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Really, it's just as I think as Paolo said, if you're not dying, you're winning. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, it's just going off that really. If I don't die, I win.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the extra deck then. Mm-hmm. So obviously, triple Kagari is not something that we're going to be seeing a lot more of.
Yeah, such a shame, but needed.
Do you have an idea of if you would play this deck again in the future? Do you know what you'd replace these with?
Yeah, I'm currently in the process of trying out a build and just playing around with a few cards here and there. Obviously, people are going on about either Magnet Reverse or Link Bound. I'm not so sure about them because I mean, with a deck that's already tight in space, you're going to play either 3 of it if you're going to play it. So it's either 3 or none. But finding 3 spots is quite a lot. So
yeah, it's true.
So I'm sort of thinking about Base and Reborn because Reborn's the ultimate bring back card, and I don't know about how many base because I don't know if 2 is going to be too many or things like that. But I want to keep playing this deck because I love this deck, and but it's just as to what it's gonna be.
Okay, so you decided to play only 1 Cana then. I mean, we often see this at 1 or 2. I honestly think it's not a huge deal either way. Is there a reason why you went for 1, or is it just space?
I mean, it's not saying it's correct by playing 1 or 2, really. Like you said, it's up to someone's preference, but I just chose 1 because I just never felt like I needed the second. I suppose that could compensate with the second Eagle boosters, because Cana is a protective, like it's a defensive card, isn't it? You're gonna make it for your defense, or either to choose a win in time. But pretty much I just thought I suppose I didn't make it. I didn't ever need a second one. I mean, I made the first one, but didn't ever need a second.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, normally, like, if you survive that turn, you're going to win the next one, right? So.
Well, that's the hope, yeah, when you overpower someone with a million Widow Anchors.
So interesting thing is the heater. I don't think I've seen this in the extra deck before.
I thought heater was quite a standard thing in
It might be. It might be that I've just not seen a Sky Striker list for a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of them going about. They're all very, it's Sky Strikers. So yeah, heater's brilliant, really. I never actually got off the effect yesterday at all at the event, which was quite ironic, but I've been playing it since I've picked up Sky Strikers again, and it's been brilliant every other time. And it obviously helps go into like Ningisu, like by bringing back like a Balinx in the Salad matchup. Yeah, it is a good little. It's just a good little tech, really. So I had a couple of times where I was just literally sat on a heater, wasn't able to resolve the effect because there was no fires in grave or anything like that for me to take. But sometimes it's just that link too.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool that you can do things like you can just turn your Hornet drones into a topologic bomber, essentially, right?
Oh yeah, it's always nice going.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. It helps you link climb really by stealing something from your opponent's graveyard and then just going up into the 3 and then going up into the 4. So
yeah. Of course, that does mean sacrificing your Kagari pretty early on. But I mean, that's probably not so much of an issue.
That's something I did actually, while I was actually testing with my new build. I was still playing heater, and and I was thinking, well, how am I ever going to make it? Because I've got one Kagari, and I'm not really going to normal summon an Ash in an ideal world. So it's something that might have to get cut with Kagari going to 1.
Yeah, it makes things a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still, there are still other ways. It's just like you need 3 monsters if you want to go via Phoenix, and it just becomes tricky.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if it being tricky is worth it.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah,
it's
I
nice.
mean,
It's
that's
nice
something
having
that
it
comes
easy.
with testing, doesn't it? So it's whether or not it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do people know to counteract the one heater play off the one Kagari kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. It just sounds tragic, doesn't it? Like using your one Kagari that you're allowed into a heater. It's just
And then it gets like Veiled or something, and you're like, oh, okay.
If that happens, you just cry, really, wouldn't you? Just wasted it.
Alright, so for the rest of the extra, obviously Ningisu, you said heater into that. Seems pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then heater into Topologic, because that's like free, right? That's crazy. And then Borrelsword is necessary, I guess.
Yeah, but Borrelsword is just game sometimes, isn't it? So it's just that damage. The deck struggles with damage, and when you can turbo into a Borrelsword, and that's what you're going to win if you're going to do that, basically.
Cool. Let's go on to the side deck then. So, I mean, obviously we've mentioned the impermanences already. Twisters and Pankratops are very standard this format, I think. Just like so much back row removal is necessary.
Yeah, definitely.
So the Lanciers, are they in here like specifically for Thunder and Orcust?
Yeah, exactly that really. It's because, well, the deck struggles against Thunder Dragons in general because of obviously Colossus, and it's just to prevent the Orcust plays. Although I actually went up against an invoked Mech Knight player, so it sort of helped. Well, it didn't. It was there and it could have helped, but unfortunately, I had a very bad hand against him actually. In one bit where I had 3 Ash, 1 Vader, and a Lancier in hand, and then my 6th card was a Lancier, and I still won.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know how I won. I should have lost it, to be honest, with a hand like that.
Just keep dropping those hand traps.
Well, that's the thing with Invoke Mech Knight, is that Alistair is something it's very prone to getting hit, and if you stop it, it stops a lot of the plays. So yeah, it worked. Yeah,
I feel like that deck really struggles in any format where hand traps are a big deal.
I mean, saying that, there is obviously a consistent player that always it's his deck that I think we both know is Leon. Leon, and he always does amazing with the deck, and I think he is the Invoke Mech Knight guy.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We need to stick him on Zodiac as invoked Mech Knight God or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's been playing the deck since I've known him really, I think, and he refuses to put it down and always does well with it.
Well, hopefully he never puts it down, and we keep seeing Mech Knight invoked forever.
I mean, it's always nice seeing them sort of decks, isn't it? That's the thing. It's always nice when they appear and you're like, all right, this is cool. I like this deck.
Yeah, it gives you some variation.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Cool. Right, so rest of the side deck, you've got the Shared Rides. So these are obviously really good in the mirror match, because that's basically who can reach Shared Ride first, right? Do you find that it has a lot of utility in other matchups as well?
Against certain decks, I would put them in, because even if it just becomes a +1, they add twice, and it becomes a +1. you're still plussed. So you're still seeing cards you wouldn't have seen at that point. And yeah, so it does help. I mean, I played against 2 Trickstar players yesterday as well, and obviously they add a lot, so I'd side it in. But unfortunately, I never saw it at all yesterday. I saw everything else in my side that I sided in. But yeah, just never saw the share rides. But whenever obviously I have used them, they've been brilliant.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic card against the right matchup.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's free pluses.
That's what you want.
Exactly.
So moving into the new format, obviously Banlist is going to be one impact, which we've discussed a little bit already. How about the impact of Dark Neostorm? Because obviously it's going to hit, it's going to drop and affect a lot of the other decks and change the way that they work. Do you feel like that's going to impact the way that you would build your striker list?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking into Mystic Mining. Mystic Mine, is that what it's called? Yeah, that's it, Mystic Mine. So, I mean, first off, it's a spell, and also you're always going to have less monsters than your opponent, or ideally. Yeah. So, looking into it, but again, I don't know what I'm going to utilize out of that. Obviously, is it now called Manhunt's being called Crackdown?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's a brilliant card, but it's a version of Widow Anchor. It's a monster stealer, but does the deck need it? I mean, it's got Widow Anchors.
That's true. Also, it's one of those things where, as you mentioned with impermanence, it's going to take up one of those slots.
Exactly, and you've just got to argue what's worth it more. So yeah. I mean, thanks to actually the regional itself, I'm getting a few boxes of them sent to me. So I'm gonna. I don't know everything that's actually in the set. So I know a few chase cards. So I'm just gonna see what's in there really.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, are there any other comments you want to make on the deck?
To be honest, I just want to keep the deck going. I love the deck, and unfortunately, it's been hit. So just got to work around it, and just see what happens really. So
I'm sure there'll be a way to recover from it.
Someone will do it. It's I mean, I don't know if it'll be me. Obviously, as you know, I initially started with net decking because I hadn't played the deck for a while. So someone will do it. It'll be somewhere online, and hopefully it will save the deck.
Yeah, of course. Are there any shout outs you'd like to make?
Just all of the lads really that I go with, which is the Ace Comics. We've got a little group called Malevolent Games. We're not really a team, we're just a group of friends, but I always attend events with them. So yeah, I'd like to shout them out. That's pretty much it really, I think.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for coming on and sharing all your insights and your list.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll be getting a lot more tops in the future, and always happy to feature you again.
I certainly hope so. Obviously, this is my last sort of regional that I was able to attend this season. So, but obviously, going to Nats, going to Euros, and fingers crossed, this is the start of something. Ideally, But thank you for having me on as well. Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode of Top Deck. If you have any comments or suggestions that you would like to make, leave them in the comment section down below. Check out the description for details of how you can get involved in this series. You can enter by voice interview, or instead you could just send all of your information over Facebook Messenger. Anything like that will be absolutely fine. If you want to see anything in particular from the upcoming series, then be sure to get in touch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.